Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Carol Mabry of the Maine Cat Lab at the University of Maine, Farmington, where with the help of over 1,000 cat-human pairs, we study cat and human personality and attachment. Today we're going to be talking about tips if your cat goes missing. Last week, my indoor cat, Pippin, 4 years old, snuck out of the house and disappeared for 8 distressing days. He'd never done that before. If you're like me, after looking and calling for him, waiting for him to emerge from his explorer, I wasn't sure about the best next step. He's an indoor cat, chipped and neutered, and usually a homebody, but he slipped out from a tiny crack in our garage which was being fitted with a new device. So when we didn't see him return, we ended up making flyers and left them with the neighbors, which is one of the positive and recommended by cat detective experts approaches if your cat does go missing. Most cats will stay within their home area, so if you're faced with this situation, don't discount them hiding in a garage, shed, or outbuilding. Our neighbors, when we talked to them about our missing cat, told us that from their perspective, that he probably was somewhere in the Squadron area. One time when their cat went missing, after searching for a full day, they found their missing kitty asleep in a dresser drawer that someone had closed while he was napping. Kim Freeman of lostcatfinder.com also suggests the importance of contacting neighbors or leaving flyers at their homes if you can't reach them. She also suggests looking for your cat around your home, under bushes, in nearby fields, under porches, at dusk and nighttime, and dawn. Cats are crepuscular, most active at dusk and dawn. So continue to do this on subsequent nights and days since your cat may not be staying in one place. So there were some things we did right and some things that in retrospect weren't the right approach. The things we did right, the flyers, asking neighbors, leaving flyers around the neighborhood. We left one at our town hall. Also sharing the flyer or the information about a missing cat on social media. Our town has a news and information Facebook page called Farmington News and Events, and they kindly posted it and it was reposted multiple times. Our local animal shelter also shared the flyer online, and then I made a public post on my own page to facilitate sharing, and dozens of our neighbors and people we didn't even know ended up sharing the post. So it was an all points bulletin for Pippin, which really helped ease our minds. We also contacted our animal control officer, and I think all of these are the right approaches from what we've heard from experts. These are the right approaches. A few things that we wish we'd done differently. First of all, you may read about the suggestion to leave unwashed clothing, food, and a litter pan outside. So we tried these approaches and learned that there's a risk with the food and litter pan approach. It can invite predators or toms to your property. So while some owners report that these help bring their kitty home, specialists warn that these strategies can backfire. So a note about food in particular, it can attract other animals which might ironically put your cat in greater danger. However, if you can monitor the food, such as setting it out for a short period of time in an area, especially if you've seen your cat, this may be an effective lure. But just be aware that this is a double-edged sword. So if I had it to do over again, I would have also been in touch with our 2 local animal shelters in case Pippin was brought in by a concerned citizen. So live and learn. So about Pippin's return, when Pippin eventually returned home, he came home on his own accord at around 5:30 p.m., right at dusk, 8 days after he'd gone missing. He crept onto our porch, skinny and meowing fiercely. He had a lot of ticks on him, and we have a large Pippin-colored field behind our house, so we think he probably spent some time out there. When I saw him on the porch, I couldn't believe my eyes, and I tried to remain calm as I opened the slider to coax him in. Just then, Mary, his brother, in excitement to see him, dashed to the door, spooking Pippin and causing him to run underneath our shed. Fortunately, Pippin didn't go far. He crept under the shed and didn't protest when my husband reached in and gently grasped him. He nestled right into his arms, where my husband cradled him like a football and brought him into the house. He meowed loudly for days. He drank a lot of water and wolfed down a full bowl of food before we learned to slowly introduce food if a cat has been in starvation mode. We took him to the vet the next day and got him dewormed just in case, tested for infections, and checked for injuries and temperature. So you may be curious, how have the other cats responded to Pippin's return? Mary, his large brother from the same litter, was curious and relieved to have him home. He was respectful and gentle, which really is his personality. Steekle, our old man tabby cat, is sensitive to disruptions in routine. So he hissed at Pippin when he returned, which we learned is common. Cats may confuse their housemate with someone new. We ended up putting Steekle and Mary into the cellar for the night to allow Pippin a more relaxed return to home life. And now, 4 days later, all is peaceful again. So do you have something to add to our tips? How you recovered a missing cat, for instance? Please let us know in the comments what worked, what didn't in your experience. As you'll see from Kim Freeman, the cat detective, I'll put a link to her website below. She specializes in finding lost cats, and as you'll see, there's both an art and a science to finding a lost cat. She and other cat detectives take into account personality, whether the cat's an indoor cat like Pippin or an outdoor cat, and other factors. So we encourage you to check out her website, other cat detectives, for tried and true expert techniques for finding a lost cat. So we hope these tips help you plan for or avoid the situation of a missing cat. And if you're currently missing a cat, I feel your pain. I hope your little guy or little girl comes home very soon if they're missing. When my cat expert friends endeavored to reassure me and my family that it can take days or even weeks for him to return, I confess I grew more hopeless each day. Don't make my mistake. That was wasted energy, and our little prodigal son returned, as so many missing cats do. So we wish you well, wish you peace, and until next time, I'm Carol Mabry from the Maine Cat Lab. Have a great week.